and see how the differences have, like,
Trump's changed that.
yeah, there's
76% of our food now does not tell
is
whether or not it's
unlabeled. Yeah, that's something else I've been trying to fight.
Yeah.
You all have something to drink? So, Shadi Ismail is a Syrian veteran, Syrian Army, and I actually met him at Still Here, which was a presentation that was put on by the International Rescue Committee here in Boise, and it was really awesome hearing you and Tekle that night telling your stories. But so I invited Shadi here tonight to basically have a conversation because we have something in common.
Both of us with military, yes.
So in 2008, I was in Iraq on a place called Sinjar Mountain.
Yes.
Now, some of you guys were here. You heard me talk about, Sinjar the other day. Sinjar Mountain, one of those places, 4,000 feet above the plains. You can look out and actually see the curvature of the earth.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. What is it? And I know you left Syria for reasons, but what is it about the people of Syria, beyond that you really felt is important that the world know?
First of all, hi everybody. As I said, I am from Syria. My name is Shadi. I raised and born in the Latakia area. It's about 15 minutes from Latakia. It's a mountain area mostly. And the weather there, like very much like California weather. So I really never saw snow until I came to Boise 7 years ago. So this is where I come from. And in 2008, I served in the military in 2006 to 2008. Actually, 2 years and 1 month and 4 days I served in the military. No one accounting. But I like to share. I'm here to share about the people in Syria. People really just people and just want to be loved and be loved and give love to everybody. But the life there or the social media showing about the Syrian people, it's just war or just people want to kill or ISIS or this kind of stuff. But the actual people, it's just people like everybody. I heard like earlier we talking about the greenhouses, the seed, the food, same thing. Like people grow their stuff, people create everything. But if you look at it now this time, look everybody like, hey, I hope you don't have bomb on you, or everybody have this idea of Syrian people or anybody out from here, it's terrorist or it's racism or it's black-minded. I left Syria not because of the war. I left Syria being homosexual because this is not acceptable in my culture, because some people still follow order or grow up on this is not what's supposed to be. And all of us, I believe, everybody knows now it's not a choice, it's who you are as a human being, and part of you. It doesn't define who you are as a human being. But people put a label on it, and that's why I couldn't be there, because my life was in dangerous on being homosexual. So that's why I flee my country. So I didn't flee my country because of the war. I didn't see the war. I left before the war, actually. I left in 2008 and arrived to Boise in 2012. When I went to Jordan, I applied for a refugee program, and it took 3 years to be approved from the IOM. And the sad and funny story in it, when in Jordan, after I applied for, like when you go to apply for refugee program or asylum, you don't have any paper. You have only your passport maybe, or that's it really, this much what I had. So they ask you questions and you have to tell your story. And you might get it or might not if you did not tell it right or cross, because you go there 3 months, you go interview with other people, and then another 3 months, and then another 3 months. Like always, you interview people, and people, American people with translator, you have through glasses, so you don't really touch the person or you don't sit like that. You have a glass between me and the other person who have the decision to decide my life how it will look like. For real. And before I come here, a month before I came here, actually, I got beat up from 3 guys. You know, I look feminine and I am feminine sometimes, like I act myself. So I got beat up from 3 guys just for a reason because I was feminine. I look girly or whatever you want to call it. So they beat me up and took my money. And the next day, I went to the UN, and then I asked, can I speak to someone inside? And they said to me, oh well, you need to have appointment. And to get appointment, it's been like for now. In meantime, now like appointment 2 years from now to get appointment. Well, at that time, I take my glasses and I show her my neck. I told her, do you think I need appointment now? And she's like, no, hold on. So who went me inside, and I met a case worker, and she had a lawyer with her, a lady, and I told them what happened. A month later, I was already in the processing, like, no, actually, a month later, I was here, like, literally, because the dangerous I was there was speeding my process. I know it's sad to talk about I was beaten up, but if it did not happen, maybe I wasn't here, because the process, especially when you are single or not family, the process takes way, way longer than actually like family women with the children. So like when refugee program open, it's not just for the single people or the man, or it's mostly for children, mostly for women who doesn't have any more home or any more a husband to take care of them, or you know, because our culture different than American. Like American culture, or I am first of all I am American now. I do understand the culture too, but back there, the culture women doesn't have. Ability, sorry, my English not the best. Ability to be whatever they want, like here, women, you can see them everywhere. They are mostly housewife or mostly like education small, like they don't grow like here, like you have your own, still in the back-minded of religions, or if you can't do this, you are a woman or you are a man. You know, all this difference, but still, at the end of the day, they are a human, and this is how they live in their life. And I feel it's sad to talk about or sad to judge whole country from one experience, because my experience in Boise, it changed my whole mind when I was always afraid from people. Like I ride right to left, and I come here, I start riding left to right, and I start speaking left to right. Like whole mind changed, all my mindsets changed. But like telling my experience first day I arrived here, I was so scared. Like I don't know what I put myself into. I don't know what's Boise is. I don't know what's the culture here. I didn't know anything. Like I was so scared. But the day I arrived here, I really want to share this story with you, because as you come as refugee, they give you addresses. Like you have to attend to English language center or job classes, so you can get help from the government. And the help will be for 6 months only. And I got my first job actually after 15 days. I arrived to Boise and I speak zero English. But what got me to that point, the ARC actually helped me a lot to build myself, to be myself. So first day I went to, I left in Curtis Street, and I want to follow the bus going downtown to English Language Center, which was on between 15th Street after the post office. But that day, like I followed the bus on the bike. Don't ask me why I did not drive the bus. I followed the bus. Like I want to know my area for some reason. And then in the post office area, I saw on the papers like person walking because the pictures, but I don't know where I want to walk. And I saw a woman. I said hi. And I give her the address, like literally like that. And she looked away and she grabbed my hand and walked with me across the post office, because I'm behind the post office. And you see this door? Good luck. In that moment, really light up something inside me was dead for a while, because I was always afraid. I light up, and like at the end of the day, we all of us are human, and we always look like, we all of us same, like, you know. And to be able to see this in person did not judge me being Arabic, did not judge me being gay, or did not judge anything. She just saw a human being lost, and she just willed to help me, walked with me. And from that day, my whole, like literally my whole human being changed. Like I've been I've been loving everybody. I've been accepting everybody, accepting myself first, like who I am as a human being. And I just want to everybody understand we all of us the same. If here or there, it's the same thing. Like literally, it's the same thing. But just government or system for oil or whatever sources in the earth they wanted. This what create this like the difference between us, and we should not be different because at the end of the day we just want to be loved, just want to be peaceful, just want to be happy. We don't want to label ourselves as like, I feel when the people label me as a gay Syrian, I lost myself for a minute. I didn't remember who I am anymore. Because like, oh, are you the gay Syrian? I'm like, no, I am more than gay Syrian. The gay part is my sexuality. It's not who I am as a human being. It's just part of me. What I am like, part of me. Let's this talk a little bit about it.
No, talk about it. I mean, absolutely. And that's part of what this experience is about.
Yes.
Is we want connection.
Yes. And I would like to share one thing. I am actually from the same area with Bashar al-Assad born. Like literally, his house across our house from my family houses. But like the life there, people like every time in the past they think that Qurdaha it's a huge city because it's the president city where he's born and his father and his family, all of them there. And it's funny because in Never been is actually it's very poor area, very village, literally village area, like people very poor. And when Bashar al-Assad passed away, I will never forget because I was there. When people come from different places in the city and outside from Saudi Arabia, all these countries coming to visit the funeral, and they were surprised. Like they was like everybody, oh, I thought I want to walk my car on ceramic or like gold line, like this the idea. But the people was going just a small village. It's like people very peaceful, like the water, like literally just peaceful. Then when Hafiz passed away, Bashar took the presentation, like the present, and he really did something was odd on that time. I did not understand it because he took everything from his family as Assad family, like the whole family. They opened on that day, at that time, they opened everything for the people. Like literally, they was having so much wealth and no one knows about it. All of it, like I do remember. They opened a store, storage next to our house, and I never know it exists. Like how they put the stuff and how they take the stuff out, I did never know. It just was stuff that people bring into the country. And that day when he take the president, everybody was like, oh, no more Al-Assad family, because the Assad family was using their name not very well. Let's say they was taking advantage of people. They take. And this is my experience, I'm talking from my own experience when I saw them, when like you go, the money do a lot of things and they was using the power of it, like taking advantage sometimes of people, but sometimes they help, not everybody the same, like not everybody bad, not everybody good, each one with his own experience. But really the people, it's everything there. We talked in the past about military experience because it's funny, I have some stories about military different between American military and Syrian military because I served here, I helped here for a month and a half as a role player.
That's right, yeah, you were doing the role playing for the organizations out at the Impact,
yes,
or the training area.
Yes, Mountain Home area, in 71 exit.
Yeah, we got a National Guard training area
So
out
many
here
ways.
that actually is fairly large, has a couple mock-up villages for
Yes.
people to train, for soldiers to come here and train.
Exactly.
And as embarrassing as it is to say, the refugee community, the immigrant community here, actually gets a certain amount of funding and employment performing as role players for that military training.
I got paid, yes. I got paid for hours when I went, like an hour. We go there. They want people who doesn't speak English, so they be better actors, so they can get the soldier do the acting like actually being in Afghanistan, for example. Being in Afghanistan, actually having someone who doesn't speak English, so they're trying to get information from me. Actually, I was Osama bin Laden for a minute, for real, like literally. My role was Osama bin Laden, and one guy come to me and give me a secret, so want information from me. This was interesting and interesting experience. But the difference I saw in him. In Syria, when I went to the military, I really want to say this loud, but for 45 days I did not poop, for real. It's a real story. I did took medicine to not go to the bathroom because the bathroom was really, really bad, really bad. Like you cannot walk, like nothing clean, It's just, I don't know if it's a shit show. For real.
We understand shit.
Yes. And and then after 45 days, I felt I'm dying. The difference is not training us to be us and protecting our country. It was not that way. Like here, they train you to protect your country or go help other in the ideally world, the ideally world. But there was breaking ourselves. Like literally, I got beat up so many times for no reason. Like literally, just standing, someone who is above you can smack you, or like doing so many different things. And the funny thing, it's because I serve in Haras al-Jumhuri, what's called. It's the people who's always been with Bashar al-Assad, like the protection, the guard of Bashar. Because where I'm actually from, automatically I went to serve there because my ID from there. But there for 45 days I was on hell, really, like literally hell. Then they come to send us to someone. In 45 days they have to send us somewhere different. And the officer there asked me actually because he didn't recognize my full name, and he called me and he told me why your dad did not call us because me and my dad, we didn't have a very good relationship because I was running away being homosexual. So I've never used actually what's my family last name is or who I am as like my family. So I never use it. I was speaking different accent actually. I was not accent, dialect. I was speaking like Damascus people language because my mom lived there and my dad lived in Latakia, whereas they're speaking different dialect. So every time I was speaking with people, I speak with different accents. Doesn't know who I am, so doesn't tell my dad. My dad can take me back because he knows people. He was soldier, he was in the military, and he knows a lot of people. So on that time, the officer asked me, "Hey, not you, your dad, so and so." I said yes because I was scared. I said yes, first time, and he's like, "Okay, come to me tomorrow. I will call your dad, see where he wanted to send you." I said, "Yes, sir, I will do blah blah." I was so scared. So the next morning, I supposed to be going to the Saqa, what's called Israeli. We have 2% allowed to be died on that training. 2% of people. We were 800 people. So 2% of this 800 should die. It's okay to die in this training. So I was really like, and never been there, but the stories we heard about it, I was so frightening. But I didn't go to him. Like the next day, I was hiding between the people just to not he see me. Like literally between the soldier, I was preferring to go to that training and not go to my dad for some reason. Like I was so scared, So I went there to Saqa and was really, really experience. Like I was of course hiding myself as being gay man. Like no one knows that I'm trying to be tough, but I can't control everything. But one day, we have two guys. I told you this story.
Yeah, you did.
Yes. It's rough story.
It is, and it's ironic because that sort of behavior is in the American military. A lot of it's written off as a joke. It's still demeaning.
Yes.
It's still cruel, but you don't die because of it.
Yeah, I agree. We have like a huge space. We have like maybe 40, 50 people sleeping in it. Like
It was a barracks arrangement.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
barracks. The sleeping arrangements, bunk beds.
Yes, bunk
down the
bed.
hallway.
Yes. So two guys. One of the guys was sleeping and his mouth was open. So he's a friend. Joke. I don't know if a joke, but like August is a joke.
A joke in poor taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
He played with him. He did his put his penis in his mouth, and as a joke, and people saw him. So the people thought he's gay or they are gay. They was doing something. And what happened to these two guys, I will never forget. I will never forget, because really, it wasn't like I was. Maybe will be me because I am gay man. Who should be me there? Like I was seeing myself tortured as them because they did not know me. The only thing. But there, these two guys, like we go to the training, they take them, of course, blood everywhere coming off of them, rolling on the rocks, wherever they find, like, let's say shit show at the bathrooms area, like similar, they put them, soak them in and out. And we will be like on their knees all the time, like their hand up, terrible. And then the next morning, one of them, we were training and we go walking, so bushes like literally have nails like this big in the floor on the nails. They push them on them. So the next morning we were in like Sultan, like doing the flag ceremony in the morning, and one of them was in front of me, literally in front of me. I was pulling, like literally, I pulled from his body these nails like this big from his belt, from his body, and I started like little tears up because it will be me. You know what I mean? Like same feeling happening. I pull it off of him, and then after that, I didn't know anything about these two guys. They disappeared, like literally. I don't know what happened to them. No one talked about them. It's disappeared, and that like was just a fright for me to be, hey, why would be me there?
In Syria, the area where you grew up, in essence, it is a multicultural area because it's not just Syrians. You have the Kurdish, you have Yazidi that live in Syria as well.
It's not just Arabs.
No,
No, it's not just.
these are not terrorists.
Syrian.
No, these are people.
Yeah,
These,
they're all Syrian people.
Yes, as a culture, as a country, it's Syrian, but they are at the end of the day they believe is different. Religions-wise, like I personally, I was sitting in a lunch or go with my friends, like we'll be 6, 7 people, different religions, like Murjdi, Alawi, my dad Alawi, my mom Christian actually, my dad Muslim Alawi, my stepmom Muslim Sunni. Like I raised in a house with 3 different religions. Like religions wasn't a big deal for us, but as Islamic culture, let's say, because the majority is Islamic, but the Christian there, we shut down the school. The government give holidays for the Christian as the Muslim, like so fair. Like I feel fair because Christian holiday the school off, Muslim holiday the schools off. Like this where I grew up. How I see the religions wise. But as like what's different between what you believe or what I believe, I've never thought about it, never think about it. Is you Christian or I'm Muslim or whatever religion? No one cares. Actually, I'm not Muslim. Just to clear this up because I'm a human being, and that's it. I don't like to put label on it. But like the growing up there, like you never felt the difference. You never felt. Like I remember in 2003 when the war happened in Iraq. Actually, when the war happened in Iraq, like really our schools open for Iraqi people. Like every house is open. Families taking people in, like refugees. Everybody was together, really. And when I left Syria in 2008. Was just for my own safety, like not because maybe now they're open. I hope they are open-minded because I left it now 10
years
11
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
So I think they're more open now, like as a human being, because I talk to my family now, and they really don't care anymore about who went or who will happen. Just want to be end, like literally end the war in so many different levels because people suffering in so many houses. Like no house have no dead in it. No house have no loss in it. And the people just want it to be in. Like now, Qurdaha, it's open to so many people. Before, was the 4 families only Christian in this whole area, and the rest, all of them Alawi. Now, it's everybody from the whole areas in the whole Syria, out Syria, they live in Qurdaha because they're seeking safety and they're seeking like being safe. So, but they're open, like literally, like My brother told me, yeah, our neighbor from Aleppo, our neighbor from like, and this on my time was not exist. Trust me, it was my mom Christian and two families only, the Christian people, and the rest was Alawi, because this is the area. But now it's mixed, everything. Latakia makes everything mixed. So I hope it's getting better. Like really, from my heart, I hope that. And I asked a question on what the crowd, what's happening now, and my brother was telling me it's coming back to the government. They put in the government flag, asking the Syrian military to come in to help them against Turkish.
The Turkish, yes.
Because Turkish people somehow have a problem with Akkad. I don't know why really, but they don't want them, because the Akkad want them to open. They want to have their own country, like Syria, Iraq. Akkad Syria and Akkad Iraq got together to make their own country. And if they wanted, hey, it's just land. It's you live there, you do your own country. To me.
And we've had a couple conversations here about, indigenous land and who really owns the land on which we walk.
Yes.
Land acknowledgement is a big thing, and it's one of those things that ever since World War I, we really sort of refused to acknowledge the original land of the Kurds.
Yes. And also like the land there, like I heard the main why the fight happening there, because you have like unbelievable numbers, 36,000 pero per day of sources energy coming off of that land. 36,000 pero per day. Like this will make, like, I don't know, I'm not good with math, but do the math and see how much daily you have sources. So of course will be people fighting off about this land to have off of it. And originally
it's a resource war.
Resource.
It's not against people,
Yeah.
although people are damaged because of it, and it's a cost that we very rarely acknowledge.
And this is the sad part, is like if you have a lot of stuff, why you don't share? Like to me, like if you have so many, why you don't share? Share with everybody. Like why we have poor everywhere? Like if you have sources, share it to the whole world. Like we don't have hunger, we don't have anything, because in the end of the day, we're destroying our humanity. Like why we want to fight for sources? What make you, if you have numbers in the bank and you don't have anybody around you? Well, what's the reason for it? You don't want numbers, you want people around you, you want people, like really the
You want
lives of
friends.
people, friends, people, love, and money, numbers, who cares? Really?
I think some people have just collected so much that they forgot how high they can count.
Exactly.
And back to the story about how they opened up the storage and just had so much that
So much.
they were never going to use.
No, like TVs, cigarettes, like, back to this, they got it from Lebanon, like, electronic stuff, like just stuff. It's nothing, just the stuff.
How long can you leave cigarettes in storage?
I really don't know. Like I believe it's storage, like mean in and out. Like they bring in, take it to the storage, like to the shops, and then the storage was, you know what I mean?
Okay, so it's like a transition.
Transition, but we never exist. Like we never know about it. Like I've never saw it. Like it's just place, empty place. But like when Bashar take over, everybody opened their stores, like literally stores everywhere. Like just the people take just all of it, so that the government doesn't put their hand on it. And I will never forget the story when I was young. We were, we smoked hookah. Me and my friends, we went to like a place, a green area you can sit and start, like, we go kids, like not kids, I mean kids like 13, 14 years old or 15, something. We go smoke anyway, smoke hookah, and we just heard like shooting everywhere, and we were like close to one of the Assad family house, and the government was coming to shoot him, and he was shooting each other, and we were sitting really close, so we left everything, we ran down in the hill, like literally took 3 hours, we came back to cut our stuff. Really, like the shooting was on the walls where we were sitting. Like if we did stay, we would be killed. For real. Like we were just the kids, like we had no idea what's happening out there. We just like having a good time. Me and my friends, hang out in the forest, this stuff, and then like shooting like everywhere. it's really dangerous sometimes when you give power to the wrong people. Power should not be with one person. Power have to be to everybody, because everybody have the right to do whatever they want to do. But when you give this consciously, you do it, you will not hurt anybody, because you're not hurting yourself. Because you cannot hurt someone and not hurting yourself, because everybody part of each other. As a human, as everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the interconnection.
Yes.
And we are part of a larger people. We can't exist alone.
Yeah, no.
It's the network, it's the community. The strength is in the community, and it's in our relationships.
And Boise have amazing community and amazing support. Actually, I start here. I would like to talk about, because coming from so much trauma in my life, or traumatic, I was really frightened to see myself now, who I am, as what I do. I start first job here after 15 days, as I said, after I arrived here, and I went to my agency, and I'm like, hi, I appreciate you giving me $119 a month, but it's not enough for my cigarette. I'm not in a rude way, but I was smoking on that time. But I need a job, and I give her application, and she was super excited, because no refugee does it. I don't speak English, but I speak Arabic. So I went and I asked Arabic people for anybody knows about that job, and I got the job. And my second job was actually after the end of the month, was dishwasher. But how I got my second job, the lady, her name Tony, and she's my hero, because she was really supportive of me all my journey, and I love her so much. She filled the application, we went to the place at the interview. She went with me because I don't speak English, and she's American. She don't speak Arabic, but just her presence with me was so confident to me to be doing whatever I need to do. So the guy did the interview with me, showed me how I can clean. Can you hold the vacuum, clean, wipe the table? I'm like, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Just I'm saying yes, literally. That's what I was saying to him, and smile, of course, because this is the key, actually. Just smile, and really the life will smile for you. And then he gave me the job. My first job was cleaning offices, and I started learning English from people. People stay in the office after 5 o'clock, give me one word every day, and I start learning. I've never been to school, and I speak this English. We're having a conversation now. And then my second job, we went. Tony actually helped me with commercial on. I said I need some more income, because I send money to my family back home, still they broke after the war, so I still try to help them out. And it's actually sad, because the money now, nothing there, it's everything very expensive. But and the government not giving anything to the soldiers, taking everybody as soldier, but they're not giving actually money. This is a different story. I will get back to it. But and then we went to this beautiful. We went to this restaurant. It's called Deli George. It's on Broadway.
Broadway.
It's beautiful. The people are amazing. But I got fired from there because the English wasn't good. But I'm with them very good relationship. I love these people. I love the owner. But there, I went there, me and Tony, and we were waiting for the door open so I can do the interview. But one guy was unloading stuff from the car, vegetable and stuff. So I told him, "Would you like some help?" He's like, "Sure." So I helped him unload it, and then we walked inside. He's like, Tony asked, we have an interview. He's like, "No, you hired." Literally, because that was the owner of the place who was unloading the stuff, and I got me the job. And I worked there for a while, and I had very good relationship with them. And then, you're serving people, you need to understand English, and I wasn't at that time stage in my life. I speak English very well, so I didn't fit for the job. It wasn't nothing personally. I do understand. This wasn't personally about me. It was about I can do the job at that time. And then I got my other job was food distribution. I worked there for 6 years. Worked from on the floor, clean the floor first day, tell the management I had 44 employees under me, and then now I quit. I work for them part-time because I'm doing my own business. I start my small company. It's called Eastern Comfort LLC. It's what my family actually would do for business back home, back Syria, which making blanket, pillows, dog pillows, cat pillows by hand, all of it by hands. You can sew it, design. So this is what I do now. And also, actually, when you buy, because I want to give back to the community, so when you buy a blanket from my store, I will donate a cat or dog bed for the Human Society. This way I feel like I'm giving back in my own way to our community. And also I do speak for Boise refugee speaker Pero. So I just want to people beware. We are just as you guys. We just want to have life and be not judged how we look, or not judged because we have a hijab on, for example, if like as a lady, or you know, like just be you and everything will come, you know.
Yeah, I know one of the other places that we had an opportunity to meet since the Still Here conversation was the Miss Idaho Africa pageant.
It was amazing. It was amazing show. I went there actually to like, it's not just about like, oh, we showing what we are, but actually to share it with everybody. Like some people, American people, doesn't know, and other people, they like, oh, if I show myself, they will judge me. But actually, other people, they open up to show me what you have. We share it together. You show me your culture, where you come from. I show you mine, because this is what America about facility, about like difference, about everything. Make us one, make us united, make us accept each other and love each other, not having to worry like, oh, my neighbor is like American African, I'm afraid. No, he's actually amazing person. He's, guess what? He do this and that and that. You know, just focus on the best of everybody, and you will see the life actually changed from the social media showing you like, oh, the Syrian people, or oh, Iraqi people, or American people, or Afghani people, all this kind of stuff. Don't label it. Just don't label it. People is people, and this is what the system tried to do sometimes. Just like put the thought in your mind like, oh, judging people. If you just be not judging yourself or others, you'll be okay.
So, some of the things about in country, and that my experience with some of the cultures, particularly with the Yazidis and the Kurds, is they're very proud people.
Yeah, they are very cool people. I met actually a Yazidi person in my experience in the military, but I did not went to anybody's houses. But I do understand how they believe, how they like. It's not my spot to talk about their beliefs, but I do understand they have their own beliefs, and each one of us have his own belief. Trust me, you know. So it's nothing different on me. I have my own belief, or they have their own. So it's not different from anybody else as a human being. So I don't know why we're judging them like, oh, it should not be country, or should not be whatever. Like people. Like as last time I heard about people having the debate about the rainbow flag have to be add like black or add another color. I'm like, the rainbow, it's including everybody, but if you feel not included, why you feel not included? Like, you know, if you feel you want a black color or different color on it, make your own, and, you know, and be included. You know, this is the, just be included, include yourself with everything, be involved with everything, then you will know everybody just want to be the same.
So like some of the things I know Tekle does include, he's a soccer coach for the well, not just one team. He actually coaches a couple different teams as well as the intramural. And how active are you in the community gardens with? I know Tekle is.
Tekla more than me actually, because Tekla is way different than mine, because you know I still was breaking through the labels in my head. Actually, I feel now I am starting being back to the community, because I was like, oh my God, everybody judging me. I'm like, no, I am judging myself. I am being ashamed of myself because like coming here, or oh, I left my country, but actually I just want to live like everybody else, and I want to be happy, or I am happy now actually. So I try, and now I am involved in the community more often than I used to be. Like this why I like start like, no, I can't be in a job 9 to 5 or 12-hour shift or for 6 years in the same job. Like no, it's way life out there when I be involved with the community, and this is what I'm doing now actually. Really what I'm excited about.
And one of the reasons why you came here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of them, like to come and share my story, maybe open somebody awareness about all of us the same and all of us wanna just live.
So you recognize that part of the reason why we're destroying the Middle East right now is it's a resource war.
Yes, it's seriously like nothing personally, because I saw people, American people in Syria. I saw like how like I will never forget the bus driver when my dad was driving bus. He had bus too. So when he drive like American people, he give them the coffee for free. He don't take money from them because we love the host. And you went to my house and you know how we host. Like we love people. We love people in general. Like it's a human nature. It's a human nature to be like just loving other people. This is our nature. You know?
He makes the most amazing hummus.
Thank you. Thank you. But you know, like I will never forget, like when we see American or somebody not from the same area, you just want to show the best version of you. You know, always in any subject. But when you have labels, start labeling the people and start push them down, they lost. They don't know what's right or wrong anymore. They feel like attacked from everywhere. They feel labeled. They feel terrorists. They feel like, you know, like the sad part. I don't agree with the social media when like one of color did some tragedy or like shooting, active shooter or something. They right away say terrorist attack from like black or Mexican or Arabic or any different color. But when a white person do that, they will say, oh, crazy person did, or like have medical way to say it. I'm like, they are the same. Do you think the other person went to the therapy all his life and he's like a loving person and have the love in his life? Of course he's psycho too. You know, don't include the whole race, or not actually no race, because all of us, a human race, actually nationally. Like don't include the whole nationality or culture in one person act. You know, when I'm acting good, why don't say every Syrian good? If I act bad now, every Syrian bad? Should not be the same. Do not judge every human being on one experience.
Can we ask questions?
Yes.
I'm really happy, first, that you share and you have that level of love and humanity. My question, you answered it, but I want you to go a little further. You're aware that the U.S. was racist, bringing black folks over and also taking native land.
Yes.
Given that historical understanding, how does your experience play into the context of a nation that is at odds with humanity?
Like we can't change what happened in the past. Like I cannot go back in the time and stop America and take or do whatever they did. It's done. But we can't change it forward. Like in my experience, when I am accepting everybody and like being love to everybody, I feel will be from that point I'm changing the world in my own way to be accepted to everybody and not being taken over from other countries. And I hope no one go to other countries and take it. Why you need to go there? Like focus on here. Like, do we have any dangers here? We don't. So why you go to other places across the globe? Yeah, we need sources. Actually, we can find sources here. You know, so many Obama time he proved like they can find oil in the United States without going to any place else. So why we don't focus on this? Not going, because people, if you let people by themselves, they can figure out their life. You know, they will figure out their life. They will live forever there without, being US there or being anybody there. They were living. They will figure out. But some people, individual people, can't live there anymore. They'll flee. This is option. This their option. This their option. Not taking to be take advantage of or being slave or being all this stuff. This is what the sad part is. But from now on, should not be that way. Should just be respectful, be love to everybody, not take advantage of anybody. Because some people don't know you're taking advantage of them, and it's sad. You should not take advantage of anybody. Bigger picture.
So like one of the things that we recognize it's a resource war. That's why we do what we do. We go to steal labor. We go to steal resources. I mean, right now the resource war in the Middle East, it's about oil, which is about power and electricity. And we have the technology now that we don't need
it's
to
funny.
wage war over that.
Yes, but it's funny to feel that because we're talking about fighting about power and electricity and stuff, and through the war in Syria, like they have 4 hours of no light, no electricity, no water, no nothing, and 2 hours of water supplied to the people, or 1 hour in the middle of the night to see people waking up in the middle of the night just to fill the tank so they can have water for, they don't know when the water can. It's sad to build another empire, you're destroying another one already built. And this is sad. Why we can't be really talk, okay, you need oil, let's see how much we have, let's share it, let's build each other, because in the end of the day we're destroying ourselves, like literally. We'll come back, it's as a karma, will come back to us in so many different ways.
It's interesting because we actually had a talk earlier about, reduce, reuse, recycle, and talking about, when it comes to an empire, why destroy it?
Yeah, why? It's already built, and like I saw a picture of areas in Syria. I've been there. It's beautiful. It's called Homs. It literally connects whole Syria together. You go through it with the bus and stuff. Beautiful, beautiful area. I was every time going there, like I feel so, because everybody met there, like from all over Syria was my favorite place. When I saw a video of the area, how the streets gone, how's everything gone, like literally just flat of garbage and stuff. It's so how painful, like why? Like how many people build it, like so many energy put in this place to build. It was beautiful. Why destroy it? Why destroy it? It's not military area. It's just it's a human area, like a civilian area. Why destroy this area? It's sad. And so many people now, like they don't have place to stay, like they don't have home, they don't.
Yeah.
Just, I hope it'll be a better place soon.
I think that's something we're all looking forward to is, you missed Dan and I talk yesterday about bring our troops home, and there is a lot of effort along a lot of fronts right now to change the way we do business.
When you are in military, you check yourself out of life, like for real. You check yourself out because you're not living. You follow an order, and this is the military. What's about? It's about not live, follow somebody else's order. Like if my choice, I would love to be with my family now, have a good time, no problem. But we follow order, like you can't be whatever you want because the order, I feel like our folks here going to there and doing what the government want, I feel they're missing what's going on here now. They're missing about actually what's happening, actually what's matter. Like, your family matter. You're missing it to get some oil to government, and actually you're getting paid maybe your life on your hand and on the name, you're protecting your country. Are you protecting your country when you are in somewhere else?
Stealing something from them.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's definitely not an easy situation or an easy solution. It's one that's going to take all of us to get the work done. But
Yes, absolutely. It's a visual, like it starts from yourself when you start accepting everybody and let it go from this, I need money, it's money come and go, it's money just something between us, but it's not, doesn't present who we are as a human being, Like the kindness should represent who we are.
the nature of the transactional relationship.
Yes, should be.
We need to get past that.
Not like, oh, you give me this, I'll take your life for it. Like, why? Let's share it. So both of us doesn't die. You know?
Anyway, thank you for your time today,
absolutely.
Shadi.
Thank you
It
for having me.
was an awesome conversation.
So you go to Syria or you been